Welcome to the Class Business Podcast. I'm Chrissy Monaghan, your host, and today we're joined by Karen Heap from Socially Shared. Karen is an experienced business advisor, a super connector, and the founder of the award-winning Socially Shared Network, supporting women in business for over 11 years. She's also the proud sponsor of the Community Impact Award at the Class Business Awards and was recently recognized with a Lifetime Achievement Award by Women Who. I'm really looking forward to this conversation with Karen, so let's dive in. Karen, it's absolutely amazing to have you here with us today. For everyone who is listening online or watches on YouTube, tell us who you are, what do you do, and where do you do it?
Thank you so much. So my name's Karen Heap. I am the very proud founder of Socially Shared, which is a business support network for women. And we hold meetings for women in business or employment or education to come together to connect, to support each other and to learn. And it's a wonderful community. And we run that community across the wider Midlands. So we hold monthly meetings in West Midlands, Warwickshire, Oxfordshire, Leicestershire and Northamptonshire. And we've just launched into the Black Country in the West Midlands recently. That's our latest area.
Oh, and that's been going, for over 11 years?
Yes, I actually started Socially Shared back in 2015. So we had our 11th business anniversary back in March. And basically, I used to work as a business advisor at the Chamber of Commerce for Coventry and Warwickshire. And as you can imagine, did an awful lot of networking with that role. But it was quite different when I left to become self-employed, networking for myself. And I didn't feel I could find the right networking group for me. So I decided to set up my own because I felt that, if I'm having this issue and I can't find the right environment for me, maybe other people are having the same challenge. And back, 11 years ago, there weren't really women in business networks out there. Nowadays there are lots, particularly in the Midlands area. We're very fruitful. We've got lots and lots of different networks to choose from. But 11 years ago, it was quite a different story. So as I say, I just decided to start Socially Shared, and I looked at what else was around and what things I felt worked for me, and then tried to fill in the gaps. So I wanted networking meetings that felt like meeting friends for coffee, so they were sociable and relaxed, but that were still professional. That you could be having a conversation with people like yourself that had the same challenges and experiences, that were happy to support each other, but also to share their knowledge, experience and expertise with each other too, because I do believe there is such a lot to learn from coming together and learning from each other. So that, in a nutshell, is what our meetings are about. So we come together, we have a coffee or a tea, and we just get to know each other, build relationships. And we also have a learning opportunity where someone from within the network shares some of their knowledge or expertise. And it can be on personal development or business development type topics, anything really that's going to help us to progress. And work a bit smarter with our businesses, really. So, that's it.
Karen, talk to me about networking, because I just have this vision in my head, and I don't know where I got it from, that if you went to a networking meeting, that you had to sort of sit around in this circle, you'd stand up and give that 1 minute elevator pitch, which, if I'm honest with you, has always put me off going to those meetings. Do they actually exist, or have I just made that up in my head?
No, you haven't dreamt that, Chrissy. You're all right. There are networks out there where that does still exist. There are all sorts of different types of networks, and this is the luxury really for us as women in business. Any business owners, really. There is such a wide range to choose from. So some of the networks are very much sales and referral based, that are very much more structured and very much more formal, where you'll have your 60-second elevator pitch. You have to go every week. If you don't go, you have to get someone to take your place. They're very structured, very formal. And that works really well for some types of businesses. It's not really for me, though. For me, I like the more relaxed networking, because I feel when we're relaxed and the environment is just more friendly and welcoming, you can relax and be more yourself. And I know through my own experiences that the best networking for me is where you're with people that do feel relaxed, can be comfortable and be themselves. I mean, some of the networks out there, they do have even like 45-second pitches where literally a buzzer will go and stop you mid-sentence when you're doing your intro. But for us at Socially Shared, we don't have a one-seat policy. So one-seat policies, for those that don't know, is where you only allow one person from each sector to be at the network meeting. Again, that works well for some networking groups. But for me personally, I think there's such a lot to learn from each other. And some of the best collaborations have come out from people out of our network, have come from people doing a very similar or the same role that have collaborated. At Socially Shared, coming back to the elevator and introduction pitch, we do introduce ourselves and what we do, but we don't have any 60-second buzzers. It's very relaxed. And if people don't feel comfortable introducing themselves, they don't have to. But if they do, obviously, there's the benefit of everyone in the room knowing who they are, and then they can obviously pick up those conversations as well after the meeting.
Because I can imagine it's quite intimidating for someone maybe new who comes into a room of people they don't know. That's all a perception, I feel, isn't it? Like, I feel like with networking, you do have to go in with a bit of intent. Like, you need to take out your comfort zone, know what you want to get out of that meeting. How do you manage that? Like, obviously, you've got hosts. What's the role of the hosts?
So we have area hosts that host meetings in different areas, and the basic structure of the meetings that we hold are the same. We have roughly about an hour of chatting and getting to know each other and building relationships. And we have about an hour for the learning opportunity and questions with the speaker. One of the things that we really do pride ourselves on at Socially Shared is that everybody will get a warm welcome. So the host and the ladies in the room, when people come, if they've not been before or they don't know anybody, they won't be in that situation for long, because people will make an effort to go and speak to you and find out who you are and what you do. You don't have to have been an experienced networker. Even if it's your very first time networking and you're new to business, you will feel quite safe and quite at home. We do very much how to nurture and build people's confidence with networking, because it can be scary and it can be quite daunting. Even after all of these years, if I walk into a room where I don't know many people, it can feel quite uncomfortable. But what I would say is, although it can feel a bit uncomfortable and a bit scary, don't shy away from it, because for me, my business, and so I'm a business advisor, that's my day job when I don't run Socially Shared. My business has been built off the back of networking, and then so much so that I've actually created a business by creating and establishing a growing network. There are so many benefits from being surrounded with people that are in the same situation as you. They'll have similar challenges. It's nice to have someone that can help you to celebrate the wins, because I think the biggest thing for me when I left employment, having been part of a team, to then being just on my own in business, is it can feel quite lonely and isolating. And for me personally, I don't have any friends, or I didn't have any friends back then, or family members that were self-employed. So it was a completely new thing for me. So networking really helped me to get established into that sort of business community, that business environment. And now, some of my best friends I've met through networking, and it's just there's such a lot to be gained. I would hate for anyone to think that, that they're shying away and missing out on all that's to be gained from networking.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things, isn't it? It's about what they can gain from being part of a network, because I always believe like the more people that know about you and what you do, the better, be it even if it's not in your specific niche. Because if you're like a class business owner and you're attending like the local networking, if everybody knows, even like the local butcher knows what you do, then if
Yeah.
someone asks that question, like, oh, I'm looking for a fitness class, they can recommend you. So I think there's like great benefits to, like, as I would call it, yeah, networking, building your relationships in the local community, going forward. How does that, obviously it works because you've been doing it for 11 years and you started it on your own and then you grew the business through hosts. And I assume it's because it was working so well and people were gaining from being part of that network.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as you rightly say, when I started, I hosted all the meetings. Originally, it was just me and a handful of ladies in Kenilworth. It was just where I was doing a lot of business at the time. And then before long, we had more and more people coming to that meeting. And then we expanded to Solihull, not far away, and then into Rugby and different areas. And it's really... it was really quite complimentary, actually, because even in those early days, a lot of people would say, oh, are you part of a franchise? Can I start a group in my area? And with my business advisor hat firmly on, I was quite adamant that I didn't want to grow too quickly or look to franchise too soon, because for me, I'd seen a lot of businesses rush to do that previously and not really proven the model and got all the right processes and things in place to be able to do that confidently and certainly. So for me, my plan really was always to get at least 5 years under my belt with Socially Shared, to host the network meetings myself with the help sometimes from other people, and then to look at maybe looking at a franchise model to grow and to be able to bring a dose of Socially Shared to so many more women in business across the UK eventually. Just before COVID, actually, I did start to work on looking at the whole franchise model. And I had a couple of meetings with my accountant and was doing quite a lot of planning around expanding in that way. But actually, COVID for many was not a great experience. I appreciate that. But for me, it gave me the time to really consider what I was going to do and where I was going to go in my business. And I think we had, so everything we do is face to face, but when COVID hit, we moved everything online and we used to have free weekly meetings just to be able to support people really with the challenges they were facing. And I think we used to call them the Monday morning sanity checks, which used to make us laugh really. But, we had tears of frustration, we had tears of laughter, it was a real safe space, as our meetings are, where, you can ask those questions and get the support you need. And I think it became just so much more blindingly obvious during those online meetings that what makes Socially Shared what it is, it's the people in the community, it's the people that come to the meetings. And one of my fears for franchising was recruiting people that I didn't know. And how do I ensure they have the same values and work to the same standards that I would? So I completely flipped the way that I was going to grow the business and thought, I'm going to look at growing from within out. So looking at people within the network and how we could grow from where we are geographically and ripple out from those areas. And so, once COVID settled down, I started to approach different people from within our network and ask them if that was something they'd be interested in. And then the rest is history, so they say. So we went from having 5 meetings a month, and now we have 14 each month, and a whole host of special events around things too.
I think that's so interesting, because when anyone looks at scaling a business or growing it, in the world I'm in, they usually go 2 routes. They license it or franchise it or grow a team. But not every size fits all, and there is different ways that you can grow. But I feel like some people just don't know that there's other options out there to do that. And you took the route of, I'm going to grow from within and outwards, but also like on a host model, isn't it? It's a different business model, which works, I assume, very well because the host uses it as well to grow their business at the same time. So it's a win-win. Yeah,
win-win. Absolutely. A little bit like with our meetings, you can come to network, but you also have the bite-sized learning opportunity. With the hosts that I have, it's a fabulous opportunity for them to have something that complements what they're already doing with their own business. And it also it provides them with so many opportunities so they can grow their network of contacts that will not only benefit the socially shared meetings that they're hosting, but of course their own business too. And all of the ladies are freelance, so they're all self-employed. And it just seems to be a really good fit. You get the support and feel like you're part of a team with being part of Socially Shared as an area host. But you've still got that freedom because you are self-employed, and it just seems to work really, really well, to be honest. And I've got no intention of changing the model because it just seems to be working, particularly well. And, we've got our plan is to bring at least another 4 to 6 areas on before the end of 2026. My focus really is now on trying to have more socially shared meetings around so that more women can benefit and just, enjoy them as much as we have over the last few years.
Well, I'm sure that you will bring more people on this year because it is an exciting opportunity. It's a great way to do business as well for people, like I said, who are in their own right running their own businesses, but then they can bring people in and host their own meetings, and it gives them that positioning in the marketplace and all sorts of benefits. So we came across each other from the lovely Emma Hewitt, who's one of your hosts, and she put us together and said, I think you'd be a great fit for the Class Business Awards. And we had a chat, and you partnered with us for Community Impact Award of the Year. What sparked your interest in thinking, actually, I would love to be part of the Class Business Awards and the work that we're doing?
Well, I mean, to be honest, it was a bit of an easy decision for me because I was aware of what you were doing with the Class Business Awards. I have been very fortunate over the years to been asked to judge and be involved in other business and community awards around the Midlands. And it's always just the most positive experience and such a lovely thing to be able to do. Although not easy, let me say, when you're judging as well. It's certainly not an easy job. But yeah, I love supporting business and community awards because there is so much hard work going on all of the time, and awards are a great way for that hard work and what people are achieving to just be acknowledged and to be celebrated. And for people that are entering awards as well, it's a fabulous opportunity to actually pause for a moment, to take stock of what you've achieved, to reflect where you started maybe and where you've got to. And I think it's really good for your own business. As a business advisor, I don't think enough businesses do take the time to stop and reflect and look back, not to dwell on things that have happened in the past, but just to see, how far they've come and everything they've learned in on that journey and in that process. So, to be part of these awards was a no-brainer for me. I think one of the things that I love about what you're doing, and it's all credit to you as well, Chrissy, for this, because, class-based businesses are they just don't seem to be recognised. They don't seem to be acknowledged as much as maybe other sectors of the business community. And I think that is a real shame, because there are so many, as I say, and I don't need to tell you, but there are so many fabulous people doing the most incredible work, delivering class-based businesses, that I just think I can't understand why it hasn't been done before, and why more of the other awards that I've been part of, or other awards nationally and even internationally, don't recognise this sector in the way that they deserve to be recognised. Within our socially shared community, we have a whole host of class-based businesses, from flower arranging to fitness to dance to beauty to photography, drama, all sorts of different businesses. But it's not a category you see in many other business awards. So, as I say, for me, it was just an obvious choice. There wasn't really a choice or a decision to be made. It was like, why wouldn't I want to get involved? So yeah, and congratulations and credit to you for spotting the opportunity and for making this happen, because anyone that's run awards before or hosted special events like we do, there is an awful lot of hard work that goes on behind the scenes that people don't see. So yeah, real credit to you on that. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Yes, there is a lot of work, everyone. Who's listening?
Absolutely.
A lot of work, a lot of work. But it will be all worth it in the end, because obviously everyone who applies and gets through, not even that, even if they just apply, they can get like the nomination badge, to get the credit, they get the reflection. And then obviously if they get through as a finalist, they'll be able to share their story on this podcast, which I think is pretty cool and amazing, because not many processes have that opportunity. And obviously we're bringing together everyone on the 10th of October down to Birmingham to meet everyone. And this is when you'll get to meet all the finalists that come together. Are you excited about that day?
Oh, absolutely. And I think that the actual award ceremony, the actual event itself, it is such a fabulous thing to be part of, even if you're not up for an award yourself as a finalist, but just to be in that room, I think can be so motivating, and it's such a lovely thing to be part of. And of course, there is a fabulous opportunity to be networking in the room at that event as well. But I would just like to say, if I was going to give a top tip to people that are part of this process already, is don't leave the networking and don't think that all the connection needs to happen at that event. There are so many people sharing that they're involved in the awards and part of the process, that start making those connections and introducing yourself and networking with other people that are involved in the process now, because it's not the whole process and the awards ceremony. It's not just about the winning. It's about the taking part. It's about being part of the process. And there is so much to learn and to gain, and such a lot of opportunity for growing your own network of contacts around you. So start networking now would be my advice, and then introduce yourself to people that are going to be in the room on the day. And then it will make it even more enjoyable when you arrive, because you'll already feel like lots of people in the room already.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that people don't take the opportunity to do, is they just see it as like a single track thing. It's like, okay, first of all, I'm a nominee. So that's the first part. It's like, once you're a nominee, you should be sharing it everywhere, because again, it builds up that whole, like you said, connection with other people. Then when you become a finalist, obviously there's other finalists to connect in the room. There's something to learn from all those people, because they're not finalists for a reason, are they? They've got through because they've done something. And so there's always an opportunity to learn. And then, like you said, you just don't know where opportunities lead to doors being open, to being collaborations, like so many different things. And I think that's good advice that you've given, because I feel like people sort of get in their head like, oh, I'm a finalist, I'll just show up to the event, I'll get some pictures done, And then that would be it. I'll post it on my socials, and it's like a bit of a one-trick pony, and they're not actually using it as a visibility layer in their business to get themselves to win more business, to get more known in their area.
Absolutely. And I would say as well that it doesn't stop at the event either, does it? It's following up, it's connecting and keeping in touch with people after the event itself. I mean, my dad always used to say to me, it's not who you know, it's what you know. And I used to challenge that and say, well, actually, Dad, I think it's equally who you know and what you know, because having that community of people around you, whatever that looks like to you, it's only an advantage. If you're looking for services or products for your own business or your life, your lifestyle generally, you can often find it in the people around you. If it's advice and guidance, if it's learning opportunities, if it's business collaborations, I think the stronger the community of people around you, the better the chance of you having the success and realising the success and the potential that's in front of you. I think the community aspect of running a business is so important. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to sponsor the Community Impact Award, because I've always taken the approach with my business work and with Socially Shared to grow the community first and the business will come second. Because focusing on that community of people around you, it's just such a firm foundation and just such a good thing to be able to do. And let's face it, business is not an easy journey always. It's not a steady path. It's peaks and troughs, there's up and downs, there's challenges, there's successes. But having a really good community of people around you, it just helps to support you when you need it the most. So anyway, sorry, I'm digressing now, Christy. Sorry about that.
For sure, that's great stuff. And so if any of the listeners are watching this and they want to connect with you guys in the Midlands, because obviously there's already an existing network out there delivering and hosting networking sessions, where should they come and find you? Like, what's the best place for them to connect with you to find out more?
Well, we've got a website. So if you go to sociallyshared.co.uk, that is the hub for our whole community. So you can find everything on there that you need to know. So about our network, how it operates, where our meetings are held. We do have a membership proposition with Socially Shared, but you don't have to be a member. You can just dip in and out of our network as and when life and business allows. But if you would rather connect with us on socials, on Socially Shared, on Facebook, it's Socially Shared Online Community. And it's Socially Shared Business Network on LinkedIn. But the website, you'll have all of the social links on there. So sociallyshared.co.uk is probably the best point of call.
Oh, perfect. Oh, Karen, it's been lovely to chat with you today about all the amazing work you're doing at Socially Shared and just business networking meetings and stuff in general, because I know a lot of the audience probably have not explored that avenue in terms of growing their business, which they should totally be looking at for sure this year. But thank you so much for your time, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the 10th of October down in Birmingham.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for having me, and I really look forward to seeing you on the 10th of October. Thanks.